Hey y'all, this is Sergeant Dan with Palmetto Edge. So for my review today, I have for you a Cold Steel. This is the Cold Steel Pro Lite Tanto. So let me get your close-up of it here. And then once I'm done with my close-up, I will get into specifications as always, okay? All right. And there you go. All right, so I said specifications. No, specifications don't come next. Size comparisons come next. So here it is up against the Spyderco Para 3. Here it is up against the Benchmade Bug Out. And let's get one more in here. Ooh, here it is up against the ZT0566. All right. I could work on centering a little better there, couldn't I? There you go. There. Now it's a little better centered, isn't it? All right. So, I mean, as you can see, just your good standard size, mid-size blade, knife thing as a whole there. All right. So, specifications. Overall length on this one is 8 inches with a 3.5-inch blade. It is a Tanto, as you can see there, but it is also a hollow grind. Okay, so steel is this German 4116, which I know very, very little about. I could only imagine at the price point that it's about in line with 8CR13, 5CR15, ALS 8, that kind of stuff, 440. So simply because of the price point on the knife. Handles are GFN, which is glass-filled nylon, just a fancy plastic. It is a lockback, but it is still Cold Steel's famous triad lock, which is a really, really strong lockup, okay? Thumb stud open. Nothing fancy with this one. No assisted. It's not on any kind of fancy washers or bearings or anything like that. So no, I mean you can kind of flick it open, but yeah, it's nowhere near as fast and smooth and all as just as a axis lock on a Benchmade or something like that. Okay, so two-way or two position pocket clip, so right hand or left hand, tip up only, and it's totally ambidextrous, so you can switch your pocket clip over here to the left side. You can even switch around your thumb stud, because if you'll see, it's a little longer on one side than the other. You can switch your thumb stud around and make it totally left-handed if that's what you want. If that's what you're into, if you're a lefty. So there's you a totally ambidextrous option for your knife. Made in Taiwan, so definitely not a USA made knife. Let's see. I think it's actually fairly lightweight. I mean, it's got solid GFN frame, handles, all that stuff. So I mean, it's a fairly lightweight knife. So let me get into review, guys. My purpose for buying this knife was to be an absolute just throwaway beater knife, and it's doing great. It's holding up good, y'all. I have a couple of little complaints about it, which I'll get to, but ergonomically, it's fine. It's really good in hand. The GFN here has, as you can see, it's got some texture on it there, so you can get a good grip on it. The finger grooves and all that stuff are just all in the right places. I wish it had a little more aggressive jimping up here. I wouldn't really call it jimping so much as, come on, focus, so much as just grooves. Cause see, you still got the you got the spine there of the triad lock that sits in there. So I really wish that the jimping on it were a little more aggressive, that it had maybe a little down here. So that's one thing that I would do a little differently, or wish I could change. It goes in and out of the pocket just fine. Even though it has this texturing, it's not so rough and so aggressive that it doesn't come out and in great. The shape of the pocket clip's wonderful. It holds it in there. It's just a standard pocket clip, but it does what it needs to do, and it does it nicely and easily. Haven't been a big fan of the Tanto shaped blades until fairly recently, so I'm okay with it now. Triad lock is a wonderful, if you have to have any kind of back lock, I love the Triad locks from Cold Steel. There's just something different about them. They're when it's locked open, it is locked open. It ain't going nowhere. Okay, and that's one thing about this knife. I have zero blade play in any direction whatsoever. It's locked solid. Let's see. I think I said it feels good in hand. One thing I did notice: this German 4116 steel, it tarnished. This is not. It might be a little hard to see on camera, but this is not as dark as this blade was when I first got it. And it's not that it's rusting; it has gotten a dark tarnish on it, and not so much that I'm even really complaining about that either. It's interesting how quickly that happened, and so yeah, that's a thing, right? Um, One thing to note: if you have problems with dexterity, hand strength, something like this backlock is strong. It is a strong spring in there. Okay, so there's people that would never be able to get this closed. My mom has some mild arthritis in her hands. She would never in a million years be able to get this blade closed. Okay, it might not even. It's strong opening. She herself might not would even be able to get it open. So if you're someone that loves knives but has some hand strength or dexterity issues, I'd say pass this one up. Okay, I'm thinking about you. I'm concerned about you. Okay. Let's see. One complaint I do have in particular is sometimes this lock, as much as I like it, sometimes it's got some serious lock stick in it to the point where I've got two hands on it pressing as hard as I can and it's not letting loose. And just it finally does, okay, but let me see if I can, and it seems to be just random when it happens too. I've because I've taken the knife apart, I've cleaned, I've lubricated, all that great stuff, and even now it's still. Oh, see, there we go. I'm pressing as hard as I can with that hand, and it is not letting loose. So now I've got to get in here with two of them. Oh, there we go. And see, once I break it loose, it's broken loose. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes this thing has some wicked lock stick on it. So yeah, that's a complaint. But then again, when you look at the price of this one, is it really something huge to complain about? Yeah, maybe not really, unless you're someone that would be a big issue for. Okay, and again, going back to the people with hand strength and dexterity issues. Okay, so price on this one. They're on sale right now on Blade HQ for $21.99. So $22 for a big cold steel. Okay, that's just, I mean, it's smooth. I didn't mention that. It is smooth. It might not be super loose where you can just flick it open, okay? But it is smooth. There is no hold up, no grinding, no nothing like that, okay? It's wonderful as far as that goes. Oh, see, it did it again. There, I got it with one hand that time. So, yeah, I mean, for that price, $21.99. Like I said, I got it to be a beater, and it has. I've had to sharpen it one time since I've got it. Real easy to sharpen. Like I said, just the steel, this German 4116, whatever. Yeah, is like I said, I got to believe it's on par with Allstate, HCR 13, stuff like that. Okay, just because of the price point and how it retained an edge and how easy it was to get an edge back on it. Okay. Um, so $22. Um, if something awful happened to it where Cold Steel's warranty wouldn't take care of me, would I replace it? Yeah, I probably would. This one's, like I said, I got this one to be a beater and it's doing it. So, I mean, for that price, if you want, I want a knife that I can use to be a beater, but also still be fairly reliable and fairly decent quality. And this one fits that category. Um, so yeah, I mean, if that's the kind of knife you're looking for, if you're someone that doesn't have to have, a nice, $130 knife in your pocket all the time, which I'm not. You've seen some of my other videos. I'm a fan of Kershaw's and stuff like that too. Okay, but if you're someone that's looking for a good knife without breaking the bank, this is it. It really is. Yeah, I got complaints, but for the price point, they're no big deal. So, yeah, if you're looking for a little beater knife of still decent quality, there you go. Cold Steel Pro Lite Tanto. Guys, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Twitter and the Instagram, and y'all have a good one.